Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Power Book 4, Force Season 3, Episode 1. So, you guys, we are in a different location today. I am filming from my office. Don't get used to it. I won't be doing videos here often. It's just that the studio is not here. Mister's gone in his car. Child, I ain't got no vehicle to get into. So, I wanted to get this video done. It was easiest to just do it right here. Okay? So that's where we are with it, you guys. The show is back. We see Tommy, and listen, I don't really remember too much. I mean, I kind of got the gist of everything, but I don't remember a lot of the story because it just seemed like it was a whole bunch of shit going on. As time goes on, I'm sure it'll come back to me. I mean, as I was watching, shit was coming back to me. But you know what I miss? I miss when, shows would go off in June and they would go on a summer break and then they'd come back in September. Like, can they do that with these shows? Can we normalize that again? Because this year between seasons and everything, it is really hard to keep track of everything, child. And then, with my older woman brain, we don't always remember everything. But again, it's going to come back to me. It's going to come back to me. But please be patient, because you guys going to be like, Roxanne, you forgot to say. Just be patient, okay? Anyway, you guys, the review. Let's get to it, shall we? I say I'm going to take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It's like you could hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Power Book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so the show starts at a high fevered pitch, okay? This show was so dramatic, like, it felt like I was watching a damn soap opera, okay? Mixed in with a little crime and violence, but, child, so anyway, Tommy is like, go get Vic, telling Diamond to go get Vic, and Diamond was just like, why? What we got to do? He was like, don't worry about it. The feds is on their way. You got to go get them, okay? Diamond don't really know what exactly is going on, but he goes and does what Tommy says. Of course, when he goes over there to get Vic, Vic don't want to go because Vic believes that he's been made by Tommy, which he has been. But, now them coming there, that's kind of throwing a wrench in the program. He don't really know what's going on here. But he know one thing. He don't want to go with Diamond and them. But, so he try to fight back. But Vic, you ain't going to be able to fight these boys. Just go on and get in the car with them. Okay? Sure enough, as soon as they whisk him off, here comes Stacy and her crew. Okay, they bust in there, and they think that they're about to have this big, this bust and get Tommy and everything, yet no Tommy is there, no Diamond is there, and hell, no Vic is there either, so she's looking all around, she's trying to figure it out, so she calls Vic on the phone, and then the phone is still there at the location, one of her detectives picks it up and, hey, boss, you looking for this? And then, Stacy saw it. I said, oh, Lord, that Stacy is about to blow a gasket. She was like, fuck! So she got to go back to the department now and let her team know that, Vic is dead. Drat the luck. Okay? But that means that they got to turn up the heat on this Tommy Egan. That's all they doing from here on out. They got to find that Tommy Egan. And they was like, no, sis. What we need to do is concentrate on convictions, okay? That's what this task force is supposed to be about. Honey, somewhere Stacy has lost sight of things, okay? And then on top of that, somebody come and tell her, hey, somebody from the DNC is here to see you. And I was like, well, damn, they use the DNC on these shows, on these power shows, like they some fucking gangsters or something. Do they know something about the DNC that we don't know? Now, jumping over to that dumbass Jinard and Shanti. Okay, they over there and they having a fine session in the ring. Okay, I guess it's after hours, so we ain't got to worry about nobody walking in on them. And then after they finish, they all post-coital, they feeling good because they feel like they got Tommy. Okay, even though they ain't heard nothing just yet. Okay, Shanti was like, have you talked to Diamond? And he was just like, no, you know how he is, He's so fucking stupid. Like, how you ran CMB this whole time that Diamond was in jail, and then when the nigga came out, you just lose your mind, just as stupid as the day is long, child. Shanti is like, it don't feel right. Like, we should have heard something by now. Oh, you know how he is. It's gonna be all right. We just gotta sit back and wait to hear from them, Jumping over to Miguel and Maria, that Miguel is mad as hell. He done found out about Tommy and Maria. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this sunlight off of me. He done found out about Tommy and Maria, and now he don't know what to do with his sister. But he know he don't trust her. You not my sister no more. And he can't believe it. He don't know what he gonna do with her, but she ain't going no damn where till he figure out, this whole thing. And she was just like, you can't do nothing to me. You can't keep me here. I love Tommy. You know why? Because he does everything for me and he stands up to you. He is not afraid of you. And he was just like, okay, well, why you over here loving him up and everything? Your ass ain't going no damn where. Okay? So then when he turns his back to her, she pulls out a gun and she got it all trained on him. And he was like, oh, you want to kill me? Now go on and do it. He put his forehead up against the gun. That's number 1 gangster badass move right there. Put the gun up to his forehead, You can't do it, huh? Yeah, because you don't have it in you, So now she was just like, well, forget it. I'm going to kill myself. I said, girl, now how do that fix anything? Go on and kill yourself, girl. Let's see what happens with you and Tommy then. I guess she finally thinks better of that, and she doesn't decide to kill herself, thank goodness. And then she was just like, you know what? No, what I'm going to do is if you do something to me or Tommy, I'm going to tell Che that you killed his brother. Okay, and he was like, you wouldn't do that. Oh, yes, I would. So you better promise me that you're not going to do nothing to Tommy. You're not going to kill him. And he was like, fuck you. And I guess that was a yes. Now, Tommy... after he had told Diamond to go get Vic, now Tommy is still very upset because he knows that Maria is over there with Miguel, so he go hightailing it over to Miguel's, all right? Where is she? Where is she? I said, Tommy, nigga, you this in love? Nigga, you was about to... I'm not leaving here until she's out. And Miguel was like, you must be a dead man walking. You come up here with all this mess. I don't care. I love her. Where is she? He's screaming and everything. I was just like, oh my God. Like, this is for real. Like on African soap opera telenovela. Like, this is really on a whole nother level of dramatics. Miguel was like, nigga, calm down. Shit, I let her go. She not here no more. And look, I'm going to do you one solid. I'm going to let you live. I'm going to let you do your business on these streets and everything. But if something happens to anybody, to Maria, to him, or whatever, you know what, that's going to be your ass, Tommy. Tommy ain't going to do nothing to Maria. So Miguel just lets Tommy go. So I guess that was a yes that he told his sister. All right. So then Tommy hurry up and get back in his damn car. And he calls Maria. She answers the phone. Okay. Oh, he's so glad, the love of his life. This would be number 3. The love of his life. She's still alive. Okay. And she was just like, Tommy, you have to promise me that you won't do anything to my brother. If you hurt him, there will be no us, And so he was just like, all right, I'm not going to hurt your brother. Okay. Well, you promised her that. And she don't want to see you until you make good on that promise. I was like, well, girl, I mean, as long as the man is alive, you ain't going to never see Tommy again? So after that, Tommy goes and sees Vic. Diamond was able to wrangle Vic up and everything. And Tommy is playing like he just has no idea that Vic was a snitch. Okay. Hey, my boy, good to see you. That was close. He had to keep things real undercover until he knew who he could and couldn't trust, so that's why he had Vic, kind of on a string, but you good. So it's back to business as usual. Here's your cut, get back out there, do the work that you got to do. And Vic is just sort of looking like, you don't know that I was a snitch. I was like, Vic, maybe you better think about that now. You're dealing with somebody who is a very well thought out and planned criminal. Do you really think that Tommy don't know? Anyway, Vic believes that Tommy and Diamond don't know, so he takes the money and he takes his assignments as usual and he gets the hell on out of there. Diamond was like, I sure hope you got a plan for this, this nigga now that we know that he a snitch. And Tommy was just like, yeah, I'm going to keep watching him, He going to make sure that Vic leads him exactly where he needs to go. Then right after that, Diamond gets a text message and it tells him that Markovich is dead. And, Tommy's like, it's about time. That's perfect for Tommy. They gonna move fast. They still got to destroy Miguel. Now, he didn't say he wasn't gonna destroy him. He just said he wasn't gonna kill him. So him and Diamond, now they rushing over there. They about to go talk to the Albanians. Now jumping over to the Serbian that's in jail. I think this is the Serbian. This is part of the story that I don't really 100% remember, but I think, yeah, he was a Serbian that was in jail, right? And Ortega apparently had then sent his lawyer or one of his boys over there to let this man know that, listen, thank you for everything that you guys did for us. We're going to get you guys all out of jail. Just sit back, just wait, okay? And he's like, tell Ortega thank you, And then the guy slips him a little note, too, right when he finishes his conversation with him, okay? So he goes back to his cell, and he waits all day, apparently. And then when he goes to sleep, I guess he was waiting until it was dark and nobody would see him, even though it was a little teeny tiny posted or whatever. But anyway, he waits until everybody is asleep and it's dark, and then he goes and opens the note. And right when he reads the note, then all of a sudden he's like, I was like, what happened? Next thing you know, we got a dead Serbian there, child. And what did the note say? Goodbye. Anyways, back to Stacy and the DNC. So the DNC is telling her how they so pleased with her, even though Stacy is upset that she ain't got Tommy. They was like, girl, we don't give a damn about no Tommy. You done brought down this whole operation. You done gave the cartel over to us with a nice little bow. They was like, yeah, girl, and we know that you wanted to run for mayor. Stacy was just like, no, I didn't. They was like, girl, stop lying. We know you wanted to run for mayor, and because you done so well, we gonna back you fully. Child, you could see the lights sparkling in Stacy's eyes like, oh my God, I'm gonna be a mayor? All of a sudden she's happy. Oh, this is an honor. They was just like, okay, girl, so we gonna handle the press. Okay, all you need to do is get your makeup right. So she goes back to her team, and they was just like, oh, okay, so before you left, you were saying some shit about Tommy. And then she was like, nope, you know what? You guys was right. We need to concentrate on the convictions. They was like, oh, okay, so you finally had some sense. Okay, she got a whole different disposition. Okay, just smiling and nice and everything. Nothing that we used to from Stacy. She was like, yeah, we're going to concentrate on these convictions. We already got Ortega. We got Markovich. We got Claudia. Somebody from the Justice Department or somewhere called and told, from the prison called and told, oh boy, one of her detectives that Markovich was dead. Okay, that he woke up dead in his cell. And then they was like, oh, and Claudia also got stabbed up in jail, So she's just looking around like, what? Someone is coming for the case. They don't know who. Now back to Tommy. So Tommy shows up over at the gym, with Shanti and Jinard, and they did not expect to see Tommy. They thought that Tommy was as good as gone. So, when he walk in there, hey y'all, how y'all doing? They both looking at each other like, oh my God, what is he doing here? So, Tommy come in all big and bad, and he's telling them how they about to make a play for Markovich's, for his territory. They about to take all his business. Markovich is dead. And they about to start with the Albanians. So he's trying to tell Jinard that he got to get to work. And Shanti was like, well, what about me? And he was just like, all you need to do is just kind of chill for right now. So he done told them the plan. And then afterwards, Jinard telling Shanti like, this motherfucker won't die. She was like, yeah, the nigga got 9 lives for sure. So they gonna have to take Tommy out themselves. I was like, child, if that ain't the dumb leading the dumb, child, they both ain't got no good damn sense. But that Jinard for sure, I wouldn't try to do nothing with his dumb ass. Tommy about to piss me off. Then he get a call from King Kilo. King Kilo was like, bring that ass down to this jail right now, pronto. Now, speaking of people not dying, Claudia, she ain't dead either. She's still alive, and Stacy goes to visit her. So Stacy's trying to tell her, like, listen, you up here in this hospital all stabbed up. Tommy is not dead. Markovich is dead, okay? You are in trouble, girl. They about to come after you next. Claudia was just like, well, what do you want? And Stacy was like, I need you to help me take down this cartel. Well, Claudia ain't doing that. She gonna take her chances. She was like, fuck you and fuck that. Okay, get out of here. Get out. And Stacy just leaves. I said, Claudia, girl, I hope you know what you're doing. When Stacy gets in the car, child, why was Vic getting in the car with her? She pull out a gun like, Stacy, I'm going to need you to be more prepared. Why your doors just open and everything? You got all these people out here swirling around you and you just getting in the car all willy-nilly. Okay. She was just like, Vic, I thought you was dead. He was like, nope. And guess what? I don't think that Tommy is the person. You know, and she was just like, yes, he is. And he was like, nope, nope, nope. Listen, he don't even know that I was the snitch. I thought he made me, but he didn't. Look, he put me out here. I'm working like normal. He done gave me my cut and everything. He tells her about Shanti's side hustle with Claudia and all of that, you know. So it was like they was working both sides of the fence. And so she was like, this could work out in our favor. He was like, it could work out in our favor. Hell no, Stacy, I need to get out of here. She was, oh no, you ain't going nowhere now. Stacy about to run for mayor and everything. This whole case might blow wide open. You know, she'll be the one to get all the credit for it. Absolutely not, Vic. She was like, I can lock your sister up for good if you help me. Now, back at the hospital, the man that was talking to Markovich, that handed him the note and everything. Okay, now he there talking to Claudia. The cartel is mad about all of this. And they feel like they need a solution to it quickly. She was just like, well, what y'all need to do is go out there and kill Shanti. Because Shanti is going to be a problem. And Tommy. Because Tommy is always a problem. This is all their fault, you know. And you let Ortega know she wants revenge on them as much as Ortega does. So she will do anything to help Ortega get it all done. Go on and take that back. You know, he don't hand her a little post-it note. So for now, she's good. So apparently, old boy goes and does some research on Claudia. And then he come on back a little later. He said, yeah, I checked you out and everything. You might be solid. So he tells her that Ortega's going to kill Shanti and Tommy tonight, you know. And she was just like, well, can you guys protect me while, you know, all this is going down? You know, she is kind of in the hospital, you know, she ain't really got no security. And he was like, you still alive now, aren't you? Okay, girl, we've been watching. Don't you worry about it. Now, back to Diamond and Tommy. So they go to see the Albanians. Of course, they walk into the bar, you know, and the security stops them and everything. And they're like, oh, no, we're here to talk business with, the head. Okay, that's Peter. Peter's like, yeah, that's me. What can I do you for? And they was like, hey, we here. We trying to talk to you about some business and everything. And Peter was like, you a day late and $1 short because I done already struck a deal with Miguel. He was just here. Okay, how much is Miguel paying you? 30 a key. And they was like, we'll pay you 28. And he was like, nope, I don't go back on my word. Okay, he's a man of substance. He tells them that they should leave. So you know what? They turn around and they leave. So Diamond is mad. He said, man, this nigga Miguel is taking all our business and all of this. And Tommy was like, that's all right. Don't worry about him right now. You know, we'll just take what we can, do our business the way that we have it planned out already. And then, you know, in the long run, we'll go on and take care of Miguel and all that. It's fine. Okay. For now, let's just refocus and let's go talk to the Italians. Now, Miguel is back at his spot. And his boy is telling them like, hey, Tommy ain't leaving easily. But that's all right. Miguel ain't worried about Tommy too much. He was like, Tommy is a dead man walking. And his boy was like, oh, remember, if you kill Tommy, you know, then Che is going to come after you. And he was like, fool, I'm not going to kill him myself. You know, he going to finagle some shit and work some things out and make some plans and everything. And Tommy going to end up dead and it ain't even going to come back on Miguel. Nobody is going to know. And Maria won't know. She won't blame him for anything. And, you know, everything will be good. Now, jumping over to Diamond, child. Diamond is getting in his car. And here come that old dumbass nephew, DMac. I said, now, I remember how much he got on our nerves, okay? Hey, Diamond. You know, he want to work. What can he do? You know, he need to fix things. Diamond was like, nigga, you need to go sit down there. You done already killed a police officer. Now, I'm trying to keep you okay. Okay, he want to get back to work. He need to do CMB. He need to do this, that, and the other. And Diamond was like, have you talked to your uncle? No, I haven't talked to my uncle, you know. But that don't mean nothing. You know, he got to get back to work. He out here on these streets now. He need the money and this, that, and the other. He his own man. Fuck Tommy, all this. Diamond was just like, listen, you going to have to be patient. I'm trying to get you back in with CMB. But if you're going to be tripping and acting a fool, you not even going to be back with CMB. You're going to be out here on your own. Okay, you need to chill out. And if we find that you can't take orders at all, then maybe you don't even need to be with CMB. Okay? He don't need to be with nobody with his dumb ass. Why you got this boy out here doing this mess? That Tommy need to check that stupid ass nephew. Oh, he's so annoying. Now, Jinard goes and talks to King Kilo, child. And I'm looking at King Kilo and I was like, I cannot take your face seriously. Child, if he ain't look like so... His face was, I was just like, are we supposed to be scared of this man? Okay, maybe he's one of them silent killers, child. Anyway, King Kilo was mad because his nephew was killed. He can't have that nigga living another minute. You know, Jinard is trying to talk him off the ledge. Like, you know, we got to do things in order. We going to get them to you and all that. He was just like, no, I don't need you to get them to me. I just need it to be done. I need you to go out there and kill that motherfucker right now. Up to it, little nigga. So, you know, now Jinard goes back and he tells Shanti, like, King Kilo wants DMac killed, like, now. He gave us a week. And she was just like, oh, well, if he gave us a week, he can wait 2 or 3 weeks. She was like, what we gonna do is we gonna make sure we keep DMac alive. But we gonna make him think that it's Tommy and Diamond that's keeping DMac alive, okay? Don't ask me how you gonna do that, but that's what she said they gonna do, and Jinard goes along with it. So, yeah, she gonna make him think that it's them. That way, King Kilo will kill Diamond and Tommy for them. I was like, damn, Jinard, this girl just said that they gonna take your brother out, and you okay with it? All over a little piece of ass. You see how that Jinard is? No loyalty. She was like, we're going to put DMac to work. We're going to have him eating out of our hands. And then, you know, bang, when he last expected, we're going to serve him up right to King Kilo. So now Jinard goes and tells Diamond, like, hey, King Kilo want DMac dead, you know, and he wants this shit done, like, right now. We need to get this done because if not, King Kilo is going to be coming after us. It's going to be a problem. So you know what? Diamond makes he makes a decision right there, you know, and he was just like, well, then fuck it. Go on and kill him. Because if Tommy would have taken care of that dumbass nephew in the first place, we wouldn't even be in this place. So yeah, do what you got to do. You know, try to do it, handle it quietly. We don't need this shit to blow back on us. Okay, so I was like, you sending your dumbass brother to do this? Okay. Then he was just like, yeah, he said, well, I know that Tommy don't tell you everything. And he was like, what you mean by that? He said, you know, everybody in the street saying that Tommy is fucking Maria. Not Miguel, sissy. Yep. And he ain't told you, huh? Nope, Diamond didn't know nothing about it. Diamond is pretty mad about it. So you know where he goes. He makes a beeline straight for Tommy. When Tommy sees Diamond, he was like, he got the Italians on lock. You know, they back in business with them and everything. And Diamond was like, why you ain't told me that you was fucking Maria? Is that the reason why we didn't get Miguel like I wanted to? You know, this shit ain't right. You've been doing me dirty by keeping me in the dark about shit, and I need to know things that's going on in this operation if we gonna be working together as partners. You know, Diamond was just like, he don't like that shit. And Tommy was like, you know what, Diamond, you right. From now on, no more secrets and everything. Yeah, he should have told him about Maria. He just want to make money, okay? They gonna take out Miguel just like he said, all right? So just, you know, Tommy tries to make it up to Diamond, and Diamond was just like, all right, we still working together and everything, but let this be the last time that you don't tell me some shit. Okay, because Diamond is mad, honey. Now, Tommy leaves from Diamond, and he goes to talk to Shanti, and he tells her that Claudia is still alive. So they're going to keep working, keep shipping until they can get to Claudia. Now, while he there talking, they hear a little noise, and he was like, you expecting company? And she was just like, I don't like company. Okay, so they pull out their guns, and next thing you know, you guys, they've been ambushed. And whoever the people that's ambushing them, they talk in Spanish, okay? Who sent you? We don't never find out who sent them, but we know who sent them, you know. And of course, after that big ambush, all these people against Tommy and Shanti, neither one of them get killed. All of the damn Latinos that was in there, they all dead, child. They like superheroes. So after they finished, you know, who sent these motherfuckers? You know, he was like the Marquez cartel. And she was like, I should have known, you know, once she knew that Claudia was still alive. Now, speaking of Claudia, she at the jailhouse, child, and she all having this conversation with her love of her life. You know, remember, she's a lesbian or she's bisexual. No, maybe she's just fully child, I don't know. But anyway, you know, she's having a conversation with her. You know, she gonna get out of there and she gonna do whatever she can for this lady, and the lady gonna be there for her. And I said, girl, if you knew anything, you would get the hell up out of this relationship with Claudia. I just don't think this is gonna work out for you. But, you know, she was like, I'll be there for you, Claudia. All right. Back at the station, you know, Stacy is talking to her lead detective. And, you know, she's still floating on cloud 9. You know, he was just like, oh, so you running for mayor, huh? Yeah, I know when you came back from that meeting, you was just all smiling and the cheesing and the grinning and the skinning. You was so happy. And she was just like, no, she was happy because Vic Flynn was alive. We gonna get him. And he was just like, I don't care. And she was like, you don't care? And he was just like, no, I don't care, Stacy. The only reason why we doing all this is because of your big ass ego. You only want to get Tommy because it's gonna do something for your ego. Not for the good of this department and what needs to happen on these streets. So he done already told the higher ups that he's quitting the task force. I said, oh, you can just quit task force and stuff that you on? Oh, okay. And Stacy just sitting there looking real molded. Now, we see Miguel walking. He's on the street, you know, and it's dark and everything. And then Tommy shows up. Hey, Miguel. And he was like, don't be sneaking up on me, Tommy. Are we about to have a problem with the Albanians? Tommy was like, nope, I'm not even going to worry about the Albanians. You go on and keep them. That's when Miguel gets mad. Oh, you not letting me keep them at all. Then he tells him he going to let him stay with Maria. And, you know, Tommy was like, me and Maria going to be together with or without you. Okay, so here we go. You know, big dick contest. I'm just like, child. Miguel was just like, don't fuck with me, Tommy, because he mean business. And Tommy was like, well, let the best man win. So fucking corny, you guys. I love it, though. So Tommy goes back to see Maria. Okay, and she was just like, Tommy, I know it's going to be really hard, but I just really need you not to kill my brother, you know. And he was just like, he already said he ain't going to do it, so he ain't going to do it. And then he gets a phone call, you know. And she was just like, go on and go. And he was just like, nope, I'm going to stay here with you. And she's just like, I already know the life that I signed up for. You know, go on and go. I'll be here when you get back. Then we see DMac. He out there on them streets. I mean, head down, looking at his phone. Okay, when this nigga should have his head on the swivel, you did kill a cop. Like, what is wrong with you? This boy is so stupid, you know. Anyway, Jinard pulls up. And he was like, nigga, get in the car. And he was just like, fool, who you think you talking to? You don't. I was like, even Jinard, they don't even listen to you. Even the little soldiers on the street don't listen to you. He was just like, Diamond sent me. He got a job for you. Well, you know, that's music to DMac's ears because he need to get to work. So he gets in the car and Jinard speeds off with him. Then we see Vic. Vic is talking to his auntie. Paulie's wife, you know, and, you know, she's all sorrowful and regretful. And, you know, she just don't want this life for Vic. You know, Vic need to go somewhere. So, you know, before he end up like everybody else. He was just like, auntie, if something happens to me, you know, he hands her this envelope that says U.S. attorney. Like, I guess they was like, them viewers ain't gonna know what the hell that is. Let's write this on there. So he was like, if you give this to, you know, them and, you know, that'll have all the information, you know, all the people, all of the this, all of the that, you know. So he gives that to her and she tells him that he need to get on out of town. He gives her a big stack of money and says, you know, this is for payback for everything that we put you through, you know, killing your daddy, your husband and all of that. And then he leaves. So then we see Vic, you know, I guess he done got his shit together. He about to get on the road, you know, and he's walking to his car. He got, you know, his beanie on. He got his jacket on. He got a big bag like he about to get on that road. And then Tommy was just like, oh, not so fast. You ain't going nowhere. You know, Tommy did know that he's the snitch. He knows that you working with the feds. You know, Vic is looking like, oh, shit, I'm cooked. Like, I'm about to get killed. But no, that's not what it is. Tommy tells him, now you about to be working for me. Okay, you're going to be my inside person with the feds. And, you know, Vic is looking like, oh, my God. You know, he done got himself in a pickle. And, child, that's how it is. Yeah, it's going to be a real stupid season. This is the last season of Tommy. Before, well, this is the last season period. They're not coming back. So it's going to be real fantastic. It's going to be funny. We going to laugh, child. But yeah, that's what it was. What did you guys think about the first episode? All right, you guys, that's that. Make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm Roxanne. The channel is itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.